네, 오늘은 누구의 이야기를 들어볼까요?
So today we have asked Eden from the USA to send us a clip telling us about her earliest childhood memory.
네, 방금 이 설명에도 ask가 들어갔던 거 혹시 보셨나요? Wow, you're a great teacher. Using some words that we already taught before. That's great.
Thanks so much for the compliment. I'll never forget this day and time.
You asked for some compliments before the show, right?
Oh, that's true. I did ask.
아니에요. 실제로 ask를 써서 문장 쓰는 거 너무 좋고요. 자, 그럼 이든 씨가 어떤 이야기를 해줄지 궁금한데 굉장히 아주 어렸을 때 기억이 있다고 주장하고 있습니다.
Okay.
한번 들어볼까요?
Yeah, Eden 씨,
나와주세요.
I have one memory that stands out without a doubt as my very first memory. It's going to sound crazy, but when I was 2.5 months old, for the first time in years, it snowed in Florida. Florida is a very, very warm place, even in the winter. At the time, it was around Christmas, and it snowed just enough to cover the ground in white. At the time, I was 2.5 months old, and my mom took me to my grandmother's house. I remember specifically going from the car to my grandmother's house in my mother's arms. And I remember the feel of the cold in the air. I remember the white on the ground, and I remember seeing a little snowman statue that I think my grandmother had in her front yard. To this day, people still doubt me, but I swear I remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday.
Isn't that amazing and incredible?
Her first memory was when she was 2.5 months old.
네, 2.5 years는 몰라도 이제
Right?
태어난 지 2달 반 됐을 때 기억이 있다고 하네요.
Wow.
사실 그 다음 기억은 없을 수도 있는데 딱 그 하나만
Right.
떠오른다고 하는데요. That's very incredible, and that's why a lot of people are like, skeptical.
Right? Because it's so early.
네,
But anyway, why don't we take a look at what she said just in case you missed it.
오케이. 이든 씨가 했던 말들을 다 하나씩 공부해 보겠습니다.
All right, so the first thing she says is, I have one memory that stands out, without a doubt, as my very first memory. I have one memory that stands out, without a doubt, as my very first memory.
네, 저는 I have one memory that stands out. stand out 하면 눈에 띄는 거죠. 또는 튀어나오는 것을 말하는데 stands out, it's outstanding. stands out. 그런데 as my first memory. 그런데 첫 번째 기억이긴 한데 정말 딱 첫 번째니까 very first.
Right.
Yeah, very first. My very first memory로 떠오르는 것이 있는데 without a doubt. 의심의 여지 없이. 이 발음을 without a doubt 해줄 때 이든 씨가 좀 특이하게 했는데 without a doubt 이렇게 했어요.
Without a doubt?
네, without를 강조하다 보니까 with와 out가 좀 분리됐는데 so maybe you could have just understood it as with something else.
Oh, that's true.
But it's not with, it's without a doubt. 자, 다음 문장.
It's going to sound crazy, but when I was 2.5 months old, it's going to sound crazy, but when I was 2.5 months old.
네, 말도 안 되는 것처럼 들리겠지만 말도 안 되는 이야기처럼 들리겠지만 제가 태어난 지 2달 반 정도 됐을 때
와.
첫 번째 부분의 그 It's going to sound crazy 이 부분은 자신이 할 말을 상대방이 안 믿을 거라는 것을 예상할 때 많이 쓰는 말이죠.
Yes, we sure do. Anytime somebody might not believe what you have to say, give it a try. This is going to sound crazy, but I actually don't hate you as much as I say.
I see.
Yeah.
Haha, it doesn't sound crazy.
It does sound crazy.
It does?
Yeah.
그래요? 네.
Because everyone knows how much I don't like you.
I know that everybody knows that you don't hate me.
Right.
그런데 아무튼 이야기를 하면서 이건 분명히 안 믿어주겠지, 말도 안 되게 들리겠지. 그럴 때는 this is going to sound crazy. 아주 흔하게 쓰이는 표현이고요. 그래서 뭐 미친 소리처럼 들리겠지만 이런 뜻이죠. When I was 2.5 months old, what happened?
For the first time in years, it snowed in Florida. For the first time in years, it snowed in Florida.
네, for the first time, 처음으로, in years, 몇 년 만에라고 번역을 했고 또 몇 년 만에이긴 하지만 사실은 몇 년 이상일 수도 있어요. 수십 년 만일 수도 있어요. It can be in dozens of years, right?
Right. I mean, it varies per person, but it's a lot of years, generally.
그래서 뭐 7년, 8년 만인지 아니면 뭐 35년 만인지 70년 만인지 뭐 이건 정말 사람에 따라 다르고 플로리다가 워낙 날씨가 따뜻한 곳이다 보니까 정말로 십몇 년 이상 지났을 수도
That's
있어요. 그래서 아무튼 아주 오랜만에 처음으로 It snowed in Florida. Okay, let's move on.
Florida is a very, very warm place, even in the winter. Florida is a very, very warm place, even in the winter.
플로리다는 겨울에도 even in the winter 겨울에도 a very, very warm place. 아주 따뜻한 곳인데 겨울이라고 할 때 또는 뭐 다른 계절 말할 때 in the winter도 괜찮고 in winter도 괜찮아요. the가 들어가도 되고 안 들어가도 되고요. 또 in summertime, in
Or
the summertime. 사실 왜인지는 모르겠지만
Neither
그냥,
do I.
예,
in
그냥,
spring, in the spring, in fall, in the fall.
네,
Just choose one.
네, 여러분 편하신 대로 하시면 됩니다.
Yeah.
둘 다 쓸 수 있게끔 뭐 단어가 자리가 잡혔고요. 다음 문장.
At the time, it was around Christmas. At the time, it was around Christmas.
그 당시에 it was around Christmas. 크리스마스 때쯤이었어요. Maybe Christmas Day. Maybe a little
Or
after.
a little before, probably. It's usually, when we say it was around this time, most of the time we mean a little bit before.
아, 그렇군요.
Yeah, but
네.
it can be after.
맞아요.
But usually we mean a little bit before.
네, 크리스마스 사실은 전이 크리스마스 분위기가 더 많이 나고
Right.
크리스마스와 연관 지어지지 사실 12월 26일부터는 크리스마스는 이미 지나가 버렸기 때문에
Right.
더 이상 크리스마스 때쯤이라고 생각을 안 한다는 이야기죠.
Yeah, usually.
네, 그런데 around 자체 뜻은 주변이니까 뭐 그 근처였겠죠. Let's move on.
And it snowed just enough to cover the ground in white. And it snowed just enough to cover the ground in white.
It snowed. 눈이 왔는데 just enough. 딱 뭐뭐 할 만큼.
Yeah.
So for example, you can study really hard or you can study
just enough to pass the class.
맞아요. 그 수업에서 딱 낙제하지 않을 만큼만 딱 공부할 수도 있겠고요. So for example, you can cook a lot of rice or you can cook just enough to feed yourself. Maybe
Well, yeah, that works too.
when there are other guests.
And the same thing with money. Like maybe you don't have a lot of money, but you have just enough to get by.
Yes. Yes, a lot of people in many countries they choose to make just enough money to make a living for themselves so that they can invest more in hobbies. 약간 취미 생활에 더 집중하기 위해서
Right.
그런 경우도 있잖아요. Just enough 하면 딱 이거 할 만큼이라는 말이죠. 그래서 just enough to cover the ground. 땅을 딱 덮을 만큼. 무슨 색으로?
White.
In
In
white.
white.
Cover something in 하면 그 재질을 말하죠.
So, for example, you can cover a plate in aluminum foil. In foil.
네,
Right.
in foil, 알루미늄 호일이라고 하죠 우리가. 호일이 영어로는 F-O-I-L, foil인데 foil로 감싸다. You can cover a box in silk.
Oh, yeah.
실크로
yeah.
비단으로 감쌀 수도 있겠고요. Many things are possible.
True. Okay.
Moving on.
At the time, I was 2.5 months old. At the time, I was 2.5 months old.
그 당시 저는 2.5 months old. 네,
Wow.
태어난 지 2달밖에 안 됐었습니다.
Wow.
문장 자체는 어렵지 않은데 보통 2.5라고 할 때 이 어가 명확하게 발음되지는 않아요.
Yeah. 2.5.
네,
2.5.
맞아요. 그래서 2.5처럼 들을 수도 있는데 절대로 2.5라고는 또 하지 않죠.
Right. You have to have the A there.
예, 절반을 이야기할 때 우리는 그냥 절반은 half니까 당연히 half. 그렇지만 절반이 두 개가 있잖아요. Whenever you cut something in half, there are two halves.
There's one half and the other half.
맞아요.
Here's a half of something.
그렇죠.
Right.
그래서 반으로 나누면 양쪽이 있는데 그중 a half and the other half. 그래서 무조건 뭐 2와 2분의 1, 그러니까 2.5개는 2.5, 3.5는 3.5 이렇게 되겠죠.
Yeah, and you can go up to however far you want. Especially kids, especially in America, because we don't have like the Korean age, kids will always say, oh, they're like, are you 7? No, I'm 7.5.
맞아요.
Because they want to be older, you know?
그렇죠. 아이뿐만이 아니라 어른들도 많이 이 and a half를 많이 붙이던데 한국에서는 모두가 다 저도 뭐 올해 딱 되어서 몇 살이 됐다. 이렇게 나이가 바뀌는 것을
Yeah.
모두가 같이 경험하잖아요. 근데
Right.
한국 이외의 모든 나라에서는 전부 다 나이가 그 생일 기반으로 가기 때문에 생일이 한참 전이었던 거예요. 뭐 예를 들어 지금이 뭐 4월인데 8월이 생일이었다. 그러면 a half를 꼭 붙이더라고요.
For sure, because you want people to know it's almost your birthday.
맞아요. 그럴 수도 있죠. Okay, let's move on.
And my mom took me to my grandmother's house. And my mom took me to my grandmother's house.
그리고 엄마가 저를 my grandmother's house로 데리고 갔습니다. took me. bring 하면은 데려오는 거. take는
going there.
그렇죠. Okay.
Okay. I remember specifically going from the car to my grandmother's house in my mother's arms. I remember specifically going from the car to my grandmother's house in my mother's arms.
네, I remember going. 갔던 기억이 있어요. 그런데 구체적으로, specifically, 그냥 대충 엄마가 안아준 거 기억나 이게 아니고 어디서 어디까지 갔는지 기억을 하네요. Amazing. From the car, 차에서 어디로? To my grandmother's house. Through what? What medium?
In her mother's arms. So her mother carried her.
그렇죠. Carry 하면은 이제 데리고 가는 거죠. 들고 가는 거죠. 아이를
Right.
안아서.
You carry the babies.
예, in my mother's arms. 엄마 팔 속에라는 말인데 사실 팔 어디 정말로 속에 들어가는 것이 아니고
Right.
이 품 안에서죠.
Right. But we call that always in.
예.
Yeah.
So for example, 누구 품에 안겨서 울었다. When you cried.
In someone's arms.
그렇죠.
Right.
in 하면은 울었을 때 그 사람이 안아줬다는 말이죠. in 뭐 정말 팔 안에라고 하면 이상해요. 팔에
Yeah.
안겨서 우는 거고 in 손에 쥐고 있는 것도 in my hands. 사실은 제가 지금 이 카드를 들고 있는 것도 큐 카드를 들고 있는 것도 그냥 이렇게 들고 있어도 they are in my
In
hand.
my hands.
네.
Yeah. For
손
sure.
안에 감싸듯이 완전히 이렇게 포장해서 안 하는 것도 다 in이라고 합니다.
In. Exactly.
Okay, let's move on.
And I remember the feel of the cold in the air. And I remember the feel of the cold in the air.
저는 공기 중에 the cold, 추위의 그 느낌이 기억이 나요.
Wow.
Very interesting. Cold 이야기하자면 when you say cold 그냥 하나로 단어 하나로 이야기하면 추운.
Cold.
But when you say 추위 it's
The cold.
네.
Right.
그리고 감기는
A cold.
네, 달라요. 좀 구분을 잘 해서 쓰셔야
Right.
되겠죠.
For sure. Okay. And the next sentence she says, I remember the white on the ground. I remember the white on the ground.
저는 I remember the white on the ground. 여기서 말하는 white은 뭐죠?
The snow.
그렇죠.
Because remember, the snow just covered the ground in white.
눈이 많이 쌓인 것은 아니고 그냥 딱 그 하얀색으로 뒤덮을 만큼만 왔는데 그게 기억이 난대요. 그러니까 진짜 기억인 거죠.
Yeah.
그리고 아마 확인했을 거 아니에요.
Yeah, probably she asked her mom.
Yeah, didn't I do this? Didn't I see this?
Right.
Didn't we go to my grandmother's house? 그리고 white, 하얀색이라고 지금 눈을 표현하고 있는데 실제로 하얀색 이 white는 우리가 일상생활 속에서 많이 가리키는 것들로 또 쓰이는데 예를 들어서 egg white,
Oh, yeah.
계란의 이제 달걀의 흰자라고 하거든요.
Right, the
흰자.
egg whites and also the whites of your eye.
맞아요.
We call it whites of your eye as well.
the white of your eye라고 하면은 이 눈에서 white 부분이죠. 그래서 흰자가 white고 눈의 흰자도 white, 그 달걀 흰자도 white고 물론
Egg whites.
노른자는 yolk라고 하죠. 그래서 white가 그냥 하얀색만은 아닙니다. 하얀 부위도 가리켜요.
And I remember seeing a little snowman statue. And I remember seeing a little snowman statue.
그리고 저는 본 기억이 나요. Seeing, I remember seeing a little snowman statue. 작은 눈사람 조각을 본 기억이 나는데, so when you say a snowman statue, is it a snowman or is it a different kind of material?
Yeah, it's not a snowman, because then it would just be a little snowman. So a statue is, made of plastic or something else. But it's
그렇죠.
not a real snowman.
제가 예상했던 거랑 비슷하네요. snowman이라고 하면 눈사람 실제로 눈으로 만든.
Right.
You build a snowman with snow.
No.
그런데 그게 아니고 눈사람 모양을 한 snowman
Right.
shaped statue. 눈사람 모양의 조각인 거죠. Okay.
Okay, and the next sentence, we have to first take a look at the clip, so let's watch.
That I think my grandmother had in her front yard. That I think my grandmother had in her front yard.
네. 어떤 내용이었죠?
Okay. That I think my grandmother had in her front yard.
맞아요. 그 had in her 이 부분이 연음이 됐었는데요.
Had in her.
had in her.
Had in her.
네. That I think my grandmother had in her front yard. front yard는 물론 앞마당. 그리고 뒷마당은
Backyard.
Do you ever say a side yard?
No,
No.
we never say side yard. Anything that's not the front counts as the backyard.
아, 그래요?
Yeah,
Interesting.
usually.
앞마당이 아닌 거는 다 옆에 있어도 backyard.
Yes,
이렇게.
most of the time.
Interesting. 그래서 앞마당에 할머니가 두신 것 같은 그 스노우맨 스태츄를 본 기억까지 난다라고 구체적으로 이야기를 하고 있는 내용이었습니다. Alright.
Okay, let's take a look at this two more times.
That I think my grandmother had in her front yard. That I think my grandmother had in her front yard.
And the next sentence, right away, we have to take a look at another clip, so let's watch.
To this day, people still doubt me. To this day, people still doubt me.
What did she say?
She said, to this day, people still doubt me.
네.
To this day, people still doubt me.
To this day라는 말도 아까 소개를 했지만 오늘날까지도 지금까지도 to this day, until today or even now라는 말인데 워낙 빠르게 지나가요. To this day.
To this day. To this day.
To stay. to stay.
No. To this day?
to this day라는 말이고요. 그 다음에 people still 사람들은 여전히 doubt me. T 발음이 이제 me와 섞이면서 조금 약해지면서
So it sounds more like doubt me.
네, or down me maybe.
A little bit.
네, doubt me라는 거는 내 말을 의심해요라는 말이죠. Are you doubting me?
Yes, I doubt everything you say.
네, 이렇게 이야기할 수 있겠고, Are you doubting my story? 또는 Are you doubting my love? 이렇게 물어볼 수 있는 그 doubt, 의심하는 거냐, 아니면 믿지 않느냐라는 이야기죠. 이 부분 다시 들어보겠습니다.
To this day, people still doubt me. To this day, people still doubt me.
But I swear, I remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday. But I swear, I remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday.
그런데 I swear, swear는 물론 욕설을 하다라는 말도 되죠. 그래서 swear word가 욕인데, 욕 또는 욕설인데 여기서는 그게 아니고 맹세하다.
Yes.
I swear I remember it so vividly. 정말로 맹세컨대 생생하게 기억이 나요. Vividly. Vivid colors.
Very bright colors.
아주 밝고 진한 색깔들을 말하죠. Vividly, 생생하게, like it was yesterday, as if it were yesterday. 마치 어제 일처럼 기억이 난다. Very good. So she has a really interesting memory, a fraction of a memory,
right?
that she traces back to when she was 2.5 months old.
Right? That's crazy. That's really awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So, since we've gone over her story, let's take a look at it two more times. The first time with English subtitles, the second time without. Let's watch.
I have one memory that stands out without a doubt as my very first memory. It's going to sound crazy, but when I was 2.5 months old, for the first time in years, it snowed in Florida. Florida is a very, very warm place, even in the winter. At the time, it was around Christmas, and it snowed just enough to cover the ground in white. At the time, I was 2.5 months old, and my mom took me to my grandmother's house. I remember specifically going from the car to my grandmother's house in my mother's arms. And I remember the feel of the cold in the air. I remember the white on the ground, and I remember seeing a little snowman statue that I think my grandmother had in her front yard. To this day, people still doubt me, but I swear I remember it so vividly like it was yesterday. I have one memory that stands out without a doubt as my very first memory. It's going to sound crazy, but when I was 2.5 months old, for the first time in years, it snowed in Florida. Florida is a very, very warm place, even in the winter. At the time, it was around Christmas, and it snowed just enough to cover the ground in white. At the time, I was 2.5 months old, and my mom took me to my grandmother's house. I remember specifically going from the car to my grandmother's house in my mother's arms. And I remember the feel of the cold in the air. I remember the white on the ground, and I remember seeing a little snowman statue that I think my grandmother had in her front yard. To this day, people still doubt me, but I swear I remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday.
Thank you, Eden, for the story once again. Now it's time to learn some more English expressions.
That's right, it's time for Street
Smart.